vehicle locators in all police cars in the county. That'll provide for officer safety and enhanced dispatching for the abilities. At any time we'll know where a car is and what action it's taking. So there's no cost to the village. The equipment will be provided, airtime will be provided, all at the county's expense.
Okay, thank you very much, Chief. Okay, I need a motion on this.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, now we have another resolution. Whereas the Village of Goshen has authorized the mayor to execute a memorandum of agreement with Local 1000, which memorandum of agreement applies to all CSEA employees in the Village of Goshen and covers the period commencing June 1st, 2009, terminating May 31st, 2009, and whereas it is the intention of the Village of Goshen that all non-unit full-time employees of the Village of Goshen shall follow and be subject to provisions of aforementioned agreement with Local 100. Now therefore be resolved that the Village of Goshen full-time non-unit employees shall follow and be subject to provisions of CSE contract with Local 100, commencing with a term beginning June 1st, 2009 and terminating May 31st, 2014. This is basically what has been going on for years. Is our workers here that work in the office and a couple of the non-unit employees over in the police have been covered by whatever the CSE contract was in the past as far as finances, and basically what we're doing now is making it official. I'll need a motion and a second.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. Okay. Motion, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. This covers all the items we had. Items of business. Now we're going to the mayor and trustee comments. Kyle?
Sure. In sewer, the crews were called to unplug the sewer line on Murray Avenue. And aside from that, I just want to take time to wish all village residents and village employees a happy and safe New Year. That's all I got.
Thank you very much. Mal?
Yeah, due to my being under the weather, I'll make this real quick. The DPW activities, due to the cold weather and icy conditions, crews have been spot salting the roads and many intersections. On December 20th, there was a snowstorm in the region. Crews have been busy keeping the trucks in proper working order. Crews were called out to salt the roads on Christmas night because of the ice storm. That's it.
Okay, thank you. And they did a wonderful job, as always happens. So I just want to commend them that they did a wonderful job. Chief, Police Commissioner Ed Shaw's out. Can you please give the police report?
Sure. On December 20th, we had an unfortunate incident where swastikas and anti-Semitic remarks were written in the snow at the base of the menorah in the church park. That matter is under investigation. We're following what leads we do have. We are making a appeal to the public for information in the case. If anybody has any information about this, they can call the police department at 294-7988. Calls will remain confidential. It was reported on December 20th at 6 p.m. We're not sure when it occurred. That's when it was reported to us that it was discovered. On December 22nd, we investigated a report of a car striking a tree on West Main Street. As a result of that investigation, the driver was charged with driving while intoxicated and aggravated unlicensed operation of a motor vehicle. That's driving with a suspended license. The subject received minor injuries and was treated at the Orange Regional Medical Center emergency room. He was arraigned before Village Justice Thomas Sion and remanded to Orange County Jail on $1,500 bail. A reminder, parking meters were off for the holiday shopping season. They will be in full effect starting Monday, January 4th, 2010. So let's be mindful of that. In addition, since December 14th, there have been 13 arrests, 45 uniform traffic tickets, and 32 parking summonses issued, and 12 motor vehicle accidents investigated. That's it.
Thank you very much. My comments are brief. I want to wish everybody a Happy New Year, all the village residents. Also, again, commend the chief on a wonderful job that his men do with all these investigations. And plus, it's nice to see letters from the public. Also, we had 3 storms already, and Mike and his DPW people do an excellent job. As you can see, you can tell when you get to the village line, the streets are really clear. And I want to thank them for a good job, as well as the employees here make it into work and do their job here at the village hall. I want to village should be very appreciative of all the fine workers that we have. I know I am.
Absolutely.
Okay, now, I'll open it to citizens' comments. Anybody have anything?
Well,
Sure.
I'm Paul Healy. I'm interested in what process was involved to decide that a zoning change was even a topic of discussion for the section that you mentioned earlier is going to be a public hearing on next month. Just how did it come about? What was the genesis for changing the zoning?
Well, the zoning hasn't been changed yet, that's why we have a public hearing. The theory behind it is that, as we sit here tonight, Greenwich Avenue and West Main Street are the same zone. But they're different in that West Main Street has 0 lot lines, and we have off-street parking requirements for 0 lot lines, which means the buildings are built right to the lot lines, which means you can't accommodate off-street parking. Whereas on Greenwich Avenue, you do have some areas that can accommodate off-street parking. So the genesis behind it is these are not really homogeneous sections of the village, and that they ought to be examined and perhaps treated differently. That's the idea behind it. We hired a planner to look at it. It's been going on for a couple of years now, and the board thinks it's a good time to get public input. Nothing says to go to the Orange County Department of Planning for their report recommendation, our own planning board for their report recommendation, and the public has an opportunity to comment on it too.
Are there any other zoning changes other than that one that was recommended?
In that same local law, yes, there is one that deals with religious land uses.
Well, I guess I could wait for the public comment, but the property that I own and operate a business, a car dealership there is not a permitted use. Which I don't understand why. If I sold that business to someone else that's going to operate a car dealership, they would have to go before the zoning board for a variance for non-conforming use. If I was to do any type of renovation there, I would have to go for a variance because it's non-conforming use. So I just was wondering, my property is right on the border of that, and why it was included in that review process is befuddling.
Okay. You make a valid point, and I'm sure the board members that are here tonight hear your point, and everything will be evaluated. There's nothing, I can tell you this, there's nothing set in stone. This is a process, and there's a reason that we have public hearings.
So I just was wondering what the genesis of it was. Was it thrust upon us by some other agency, or was
no? The village board's been talking about it for a number of years. The genesis of it is really, these are treated the same, but they're really different.
Is it to accomplish a different kind of community there? I mean, a different appearance? Is they're trying to what's the long-term goal of changing that? Is what I'm curious to know.
Is there something that spurred this on, like some problem that came up?
As I said, if there's a problem, I'm not aware of it. Okay? There's not a problem. I'd be aware if it was one. There's not a problem. It's that there's different areas of the village. It's just the feeling is they shouldn't be treated the same. And also, Greenwich Avenue, historically, you had the hospital there, and you had homes across the street. Well, guess what? They're pretty much going the way of the wagon train. I mean, there's very few houses across the street from where your car dealership is. So it's
well, Jim's operating in what was once a house.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very if he wanted to move his business and somebody came to him and said, "No, I'd love to put a beauty shop in there," can't do it.
Really takes away from the value of my building when it comes to resale.
Mm-hmm.
So it does concern me quite a bit.
The difference is we don't have any issue with it, I don't believe. If you take a look at it's just much more restrictive. It's not that we're not granted any additional uses. We're just restricted in the number of uses. So basically, you're devaluing our real estate by anywhere from 10 to 50% by imposing this change of zoning. And if there was a good reason to do it, I just don't see it.
Okay. Well, I'm not prepared, obviously, to answer that question tonight, but the idea behind the public hearing process is that you put these things out, and the board considers them. Obviously, you're stakeholders here. You own substantial property in the village, you pay a lot of taxes, so